The Nile is a major north-flowing river in northeastern Africa. It flows into the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile is the longest river in Africa and has historically been considered the longest river in the world, though this has been contested by research suggesting that the Amazon River is slightly longer. The Nile is about 6,650 kilometers, 4,130 miles, long. Its drainage basin covers 11 countries: the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Eritrea, South Sudan, Republic of the Sudan, and Egypt. In particular, the Nile is the primary water source of Egypt, Sudan, and South Sudan. Legend has it that the Nile was created by the god Osiris, who ordered the river to flow from his body after he was slain by his brother, Seth. However, scientists today know that the Nile's source is in fact the Burundi highlands, where the Kagera River and other smaller tributaries converge to form the mighty Nile. The Nile has two major tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. The White Nile is traditionally considered to be the headwaters stream. However, the Blue Nile is the source of most of the water of the Nile downstream, containing 80% of the water and silt. The White Nile is longer and rises in the Great Lakes region. It begins at Lake Victoria and flows through Uganda and South Sudan. The Blue Nile begins at Lake Tana in Ethiopia and flows into Sudan from the southeast. The two rivers meet at the Sudanese capital of Khartoum. The northern section of the river flows north almost entirely through the Nubian Desert to Cairo and its large delta, and the river flows into the Mediterranean Sea at Alexandria. As the Nile flows, it provides vital irrigation for agriculture and sustains millions of people who live along its banks. The river has played a significant role in the history of these nations, serving as a source of life and prosperity for centuries. The Nile Valley is home to some of the world's most ancient civilizations, including the Pharaonic Kingdom of Egypt, the Kushite Empire, and the Kingdom of Nubia. These civilizations were built on the fertile lands along the Nile's banks, where crops such as wheat, barley, and flax were grown. The Nile's waters were also crucial for transportation, trade, and communication. Ancient Egyptians built boats and rafts to navigate the river, and the Nile served as a highway that linked the different regions of the country. Egyptian civilization and Sudanese kingdoms have depended on the river and its annual flooding since ancient times. Most of the population and cities of Egypt lie along those parts of the Nile Valley north of the Aswan Dam. Nearly all the cultural and historical sites of ancient Egypt are found along riverbanks. Cairo, the capital of Egypt, is situated on the banks of the Nile, as are other major cities such as Khartoum and Juba. Throughout history, the Nile has been the site of many great empires and battles. The ancient Egyptians, for example, built great pyramids and temples along the Nile's banks, and their civilization flourished for thousands of years. Later, the Roman Empire and the Ottoman Empire both attempted to conquer Egypt and control the Nile. Today, the Nile continues to be an important source of livelihood for millions of people in Africa. It provides water for irrigation, hydroelectric power, and fishing. However, the river faces many challenges such as pollution, climate change, and overuse. Despite these challenges, the Nile remains a vital part of the cultural and historical heritage of the African continent. As the Nile reaches the Mediterranean Sea, it creates a vast delta that is home to a rich variety of flora and fauna. The Nile Delta is also the site of several important cities, including Alexandria, one of the most famous and influential cities in the ancient world. In conclusion, the River Nile is not only a physical phenomenon, but also a cultural and historical icon. Its source, length, and the countries that it runs through have all contributed to shaping the history of Africa. From ancient kingdoms and empires to modern-day livelihoods, the Nile has been a source of life, inspiration, and wonder for thousands of years.